Hi guys, what's up? My name's Jake. This video is going to be a fast little review on WoW, my experiences with WoW, and then some of my new ideas that I would love to see implemented in the current WoW. Okay, so a little background story about myself with WoW, just to make sure that I don't, to notify you guys that I'm not a noob. Pretty much I've been playing WoW from 2006 to 2012. 2006 when I started, so obviously I played TBC. Wrath, I played, but I didn't. I wasn't playing much during Wrath, but I didn't actually buy the expansion. I was actually too poor to buy the expansion at the time, so I still had a 70 capped account. So I was still playing WoW at that time during Wrath, but I was playing DBC, so I never got to actually play Wrath itself. Kata though, I was able to purchase the expansion. I played through pretty much the whole thing of Kata, and then near the end of Kata, right as MoP was about to launch, is when I quit playing. I didn't quit playing because of MoP. I just quit playing because it was just too much of a time investment. I had to focus on my career and whatnot, so I had to just ultimately quit WoW itself. But I love the game. I miss the game. And I've had some ideas and stuff over the years that I'm going to mention a little bit later in this, actually very soon in this video. But the review, obviously anyone who's played WoW, you guys know it's one of the best games ever made, but I'd specifically put it in the top 5 online best games. Like, I believe that WoW will never not be in that top 5 talk of the best online games ever made. It's obviously the best MMO that's been made, and then the reason why I believe it's so successful is the world itself. The actual world of Warcraft is, in my opinion, is why it was so successful. Like, from the Silver Pine Forest to Hillsbrad Foothills, all the different zones, dungeons. That's what I believe really kept players going back there. There's just so much nostalgia. It's just the architecture, the landscape. It was just so beautiful, just so good, so well done. That's what I really believe is the secret formula, what made WoW so good. Obviously, it's the other things too. It's the classes, the different characters, the lore, the different spells and whatnot. But the world itself, though, is what I really believe is the big. Pretty much the big review that I just wanted to mention. So that pretty much is telling you guys. And I played a rogue class, as you can see probably in this gameplay. This is me playing recently, actually. Like, I quit in 2012, and then I just started playing recently in January. I started playing again, and but this is a Kata server that I'm playing on. But so I pretty much just played a rogue class. I played a mage class here and there, but my main is a rogue, and pretty much, obviously, there's big talk about legacy servers. Players, a certain percentile of the player base wants legacy server, vanilla server, TB server, and whatnot. I believe that they eventually will do this, and there's obviously big talks whether it should be exactly like how it was in TBC, in vanilla, and nothing should be changed, or there should be minor changes, nothing broken, or they should just modernize it. I'm not sure what they should do, what they could do, but the one suggestion I would just make is just add more battlegrounds, in my opinion, because just playing AB and Warsong, oh wait, AV was in the old ones too, which was fun, but like, I don't know, for me, it would just be cool because if you just add a few new BGs, that's not going to break the game whatsoever. They're just adding more, just more options, and that's pretty much what my ideas about is just adding more options, more replay value to the already amazing game, and not breaking it whatsoever. So my first idea is called Duel to Kill, or Duel to the Death. And pretty much what this is, it's a second dueling option. So dueling stays the same. It doesn't change. Dueling will still be there, and this will just be a second dueling option. So it'll go right under dueling. And pretty much if you challenge, like, so let's say I'm on my rogue and I challenge a mage to the second dueling option. Let's just call it Duel to Kill for now. And I challenge some random mage outside of Orgrimmar to a duel, and then he accepts the duel. So me and him are now in this duel. So what's the differences between this dueling option, this new idea of a duel to kill, and the regular dueling? Well, it's exactly how the regular dueling is, but there's no flag. Well, no, there's still a flag that'll drop, and maybe it'll look a little different. It'll look like more cool, but there'll be no radius. So if you go out of the flag radius, you won't flee like you usually do. The second thing is there'll be 3-way battles, 4-way battles. So what I mean by that is, so let's say I challenge this mage to a duel, and then that mage then challenges a warrior to a duel. Now, what'll happen is accept or decline a duel will prompt up for the 3 players that are in this duel. So if this mage challenges this warrior to the duel while me and him are in the duel, while me and the mage are in the duel, then it'll prompt up accept or decline for me, the mage, and the warrior. If each of us accept, it has to be unanimous, so 3 of us have to accept. And then if each of us accept, now we're in a 3-way duel. So a 3-way battle duel. And then you can obviously chain this to 4 players, 5 players, and so forth. Obviously not, it can't go up to like 100 players or whatnot, but maybe like definitely no more than 10 players will be in this battle royale, so to speak. And then with this, I mean, there's just so many. This will just add so much more fun. Like, I don't know about you guys, but there's some really good duelers out there that, let's say there's just like 2 random duelers and then 1 really good dueler that is like known for winning. He has like he has like the best gear, and then so he's like, going around asking others for duels. No one can beat him 1 versus 1, so they suggest, hey, what about me and my friend, duel 2 versus 1? He accepts it, and you can just have endless things like that, just endless replay value, different strategies, different things. You can obviously then, let's say with this mage, I then invite this mage to a party, and then I challenge, let's say there's three guys out there in Durtar that are in a party, so that if I challenge them to a duel, then it'll prompt up, like I said, accept the duel for each of us, and then from there it'll be like a 2 versus 3, or you could do 2 versus 2. Like, you can challenge others to a duel while you're in a party, and that'll make it like an instant 2 versus 2 battle, 3 versus 3 battle, 4 versus 4, and so forth. And then that brings me to the next thing, is with this new dueling option, you should be able to duel anywhere. What I mean by that is, like, in battlegrounds, in raids, in dungeons, because usually, unless they changed it, I haven't played retail WoW since the end of Kata. Like, I haven't even played MoP, WoD, or the new one. So I don't know if maybe they haven't implemented this, but when I was playing, you couldn't challenge anyone to a duel in a battleground, or you couldn't challenge anyone to a duel in a raid or a dungeon. I believe that you should be allowed, because pretty much with this, obviously it's like, okay, why add this in a battleground thing? It makes no logic. What's the point? Well, there's definitely times for it. Like, there's plenty of times where I've been on like a battleground where we're just owning the other team, and there's just no fun, because there's just a big horde of players, like 5 versus 1. We just keep picking off. Like, you've been in those battlegrounds where it's just one side is just way too overwhelming for the other, and you just camp them. Why not challenge others to a duel right there, right? You know, and that this is the thing. When you challenge someone to a duel, why this is completely non-game breaking. Why it won't, you know, it's not going to change the game in any way. It's just going to add more option. Is you can challenge someone to a duel, they decline. You can challenge them again, decline, and then there's like a cooldown. Like once you decline 2 duels from a specific person, you know, there's a cooldown for like 5 minutes or so. So you can't just get spammed, right? So if anyone actually wouldn't want a duel, they could easily just, you know, decline the duels, and they don't have to, right? So it's just, like I said, just an optionary thing. And then in raids and in instances, I mean, there's plenty of time for that. There's so much downtime, usually, here and there in some of these raids and stuff. But more importantly, it's just to make the, because some of these instances are epic. I mean, Mara, Zul'Farrak, there's some really epic, you know, they're just so cool. It would be so cool to like battle other players in, you know, in that setting. And then that, you know, like for example, like Karazhan. Like I haven't ran Karazhan since TBC, and but like how cool it would be to clear Karazhan, and then you and your friends are on top of Karazhan. You just defeated the final boss, and then, you know, you could just start challenging each other to like a chain duel to kill on top of Karazhan. And, you know, like it could create some like really fun moments. Like I said, just endless replay value. And then that brings me to the next thing is, I believe that the WoW developers should add like a voting system to add 2 new battlegrounds, and the 2 new battlegrounds will be instances. My vote for one of them will be Zul'Farrak. I believe Zul'Farrak would be an amazing map for a battleground. And that's what I mean by this next idea is, I mean, there's countless amazing instances, raids, that are so cool, and it would be so awesome to fight there and do player versus player in some of these maps. And pretty much they could just put up a voting system. You know, they pick 10 instances, or you know, a few instances or a few raids, 10 to choose from, and then the players vote on 2 of them that will be implemented into the game and be viable battlegrounds with different, you know, capture the flag, different game types. You know, like for example, the Zul'Farrak one. Like Zul'Farrak is like one of my favorite. I love Tanar's, and I love that instance. But like for example, there's those huge steps, and then there's that battle that ensues on top of the steps. Right in the back there could be a flag, and then the very last boss, I believe it's like a Hydra, where it's like, I don't know, I haven't ran it in so long, but there was like a Hydra or something that is down that rock path. It's actually a really cool idea. Okay, so let's say there's a lever, right? Or is a lever. There's a lever that is on the top of the steps to that in Zul'Farrak where you run up to fight that like 5-man with you free those 5 characters, and then they help you with those endless mobs that run up the steps in that battle. So let's say there's this lever that you can pull that has like a cooldown of like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever, and then it completely makes those steps go away, and it's just like a giant slide. So like let's say you were running the fence, and then there's too many of the opposing faction that's about to jump you or run up those steps. You can pull that lever, and then they slide down the steps, and they can't get to you for like a minute or whatever. And then for the other way, there's that giant hallway to the last boss in Zul'Farrak, and then that could have like a giant, you know, like a giant stone rectangle that like shoots down and pushes, you know, whoever's in that corridor, that hallway, and it pushes them back, you know, for like a minute. That could just be like a simple like just mechanic that you could add to like capture the flag in that. But then there could also but then this is what's really cool. I mean, it's tough for me to explain. without actually like I wish that I apologize for the production quality of this video, because I'm sapped for time. I have like no time. But like there's like the right beside the steps to the Zulfaric, there's like this little bridge that you can't actually walk on, but there's like these little huts and this little bridge. And it would be cool if at the top of the steps from Zulfaric, like that's a second route to get to that flag. So if the steps are no good, you can run back to the start of the map and then go up along the second floor, so to speak, of these little chain bridges to get there. And then it could also lead up to the other one where the other flag will be. So one flag will be at the final boss in that final back room of Zulfaric's last boss, and then on top of the steps. Just an example of like how many endless options are if you were to introduce, and like how cool. Like I don't know about you guys, but the Mop battleground, I don't know what it's called, Gorge or something. I only just started playing it. I don't like it. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I really don't like the game type. Like how you have to like. It's like a mixture of like silver, shard. That other battleground, you mine the freaking things, and then a mixture between that and then like AB. Like I don't know. I just really don't like that battle group. The Silver Pine's not bad. I actually kind of like that map. But like I don't know. Like why they like that's the thing. Like the WoW developers have these amazing raids, these amazing instances. Just make those battlegrounds. Like you don't need a new Battle of Gilneas. We don't need Battle of Gilneas. Just make Maradon a battleground. Like there's just so much epic. Like it'd just be not only just so epic, not only better designed maps, but it'd be so nostalgic. Like having epic battles at these times where like years ago we were getting gear and doing player versus environment in these settings. So then the next thing is just a little thing on the lore. So just a little idea that I had for the lore that is pretty cool, pretty simple, but pretty much, let's say the next expansion that they drop is the Wrath of Lich King dude is back. I never played Wrath, so I never defeated him, but he didn't actually die. So like the premise for this is like he didn't actually die, the Lich King, and he's actually been conjuring and working on his power, meeting different characters, and just harnessing and gaining so much more power that now he's just like immortal. Like he's too strong. Like he's so strong that you can't even beat him. Like he's an unbeatable boss. And what I mean by that is like the WoW developers like will literally make this boss unbeatable, like to where you literally can't beat him. And I know that kind of sounds dumb, but that sets up the premise, and that sets up the reason why the Grandfather of Time, or it could be like the dragon, one of the dragons of time from the caverns of time in Tanaris, one of these guys, or pretty much the Father of Time, then says because the Lich King is so ever more powerful now and we can't defeat him, he's gonna reverse time itself and allow you to go back in time to the vanilla TBC time before the Lich King has found this newfound strength and has gained this strength. And because now we know where he was hiding, and now we know that we didn't actually kill him in Wrath. That's the whole reason why. Like it pretty much just gives a reason why the WoW developers would give, a reason to like why these legacy servers are dropping, right? Like that'll be the premise, and then so what that'll mean is like your character, your max level character, you can choose to either stay in the current expansion, which will still be an expansion. Like you'll still have new raids, new gear to obtain. And the usual expansion, you'll have options to like that sort of gameplay, those sort of game mechanics and graphics and whatnot. But then if you choose on your character to listen to the Father of Time, then go back in time, then obviously you'll be your character will refer back to the vanilla or TBC, whatever one you choose, and then you start progressing in the patches that they do there. Just a little idea, just a little backstory as to why, just to give some lore, just a little idea that I had. Then game types with Battlegrounds. Like, I don't know about you guys, I have absolutely nothing against player versus environment, but the whole reason why I ever played WoW was player versus player. And then, so the different game types. So, in my opinion, Warsong. Warsong's my favorite Battleground. Warsong is perfect. It doesn't need to be changed, but you just give it, like I said, just like the dueling option, you give a second option to a deathmatch. This is like a pretty obvious idea. It's been talked about for a while. But yeah, you just implement Warsong. Let's say it's Warsong deathmatch. So capture the flag is still there. It doesn't change, but you can choose either capture the flag or deathmatch. If you choose the deathmatch, then you could have it like you can have teams like you usually do, or you could just have like a 10 to 20 man, each man for themselves sort of thing, and it's first to like 50 kills or whatever, and how you respawn and stuff like that. Like you could either like the respawn should just be randomly you spawn random at random points on the map, like a usual deathmatch. That would be the thing. And then I don't know if you should, as soon as you respawn, you should get your cooldowns back. Maybe that would work, maybe not. Like if you die and then you respawn randomly on the map, you can get all your cooldowns back. I don't know if it might be a little broken to do that. Maybe they shouldn't do that. Maybe it should. I don't know. But definitely that as a game type. And then also a redesigning of the Warsong map itself. Like I said, Warsong map as itself right now, perfect. You could leave it at classic. Like I said, just as the second option, you could add some verticality into the Warsong map. Like, for example, you have the two roofs on the corresponding different sides of Warsong. And if you go to the roof, usually the flag carriers will go there sometimes, but if you go to that roof and then there's like that flower pot thing that's like you can LOS around, and like you just make a little opening there, and then there's like you can make this huge bridge that goes across from that roof to the next roof. So that could be like, that could be just another route to cap the flag, or or you could just go up there and battle other players up there 1 versus 1 and stuff like. And then you can. So that's the only way to get up there, to go across. But you can also, like what they did with Blade's Edge Arena, how you have those little ramps that go up in the middle of the bridge. You could have that in the middle of the field, of the Warsong field, so there'll be like you can get up from the field also. There could be like 2 little ramps that you go up from side to side, and then that'll take you up to the top stone bridge that I just mentioned, that goes from roof to roof. And then let's talk about, I don't know if it's called Aluric Valley, Altoric Valley, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but AV as a battleground. Like I said, you leave the one how it is completely fine, but you just give a second option, AV, Battle Royale or Battle or something. You can just name it something. And what this AV option is, the game type is, it takes out the player environment mechanics completely out of AV. So rather than, there's no bosses, there's no NPCs to take down. So it's just player versus player. Well, why this would be so epic is because, so many times if you've played AV, you've got 40 versus 40 players running across that middle field when we see each other going by, but we're only going by and not battling in that middle field is because the game type, the objective is to kill the raid bosses. But what if we take out the raid bosses? Then rather than running by each other, we're going to be clashing each other, like 40 versus 40, and this would just be so much fun. So pretty much the objective now, because there's no player versus environment, there's going to be it's going to be exactly how it is. 500. There's going to be 500 points that each team has, and then each player represents a point. So if a player and once a player dies, then you can, it takes out 1 point from the 500. And then, like, this will just be so much fun, like, because you could have, like, you could have a raid of 40 that you could stick together would probably be the best. Or, you could have, like, 10 players, 10 players, 10 players, 10 players, and then try to attack, the other teams and try to pick them off here and there and kind of, turtle around and don't attack the main mob and try to pick them off. And, like, there'd just be so many different strategies and stuff. And it would be, I don't know, like, I want to play that so bad, like an AV. Like, I love the map. Like, I completely love the map of AV. I just don't like the objective. Like, I hate just running by each other and then, like, rushing to the raid bosses and stuff like that. So, that's another thing. So you just, like I said, you leave AV how it is, you just give it, that'll be Alerted Valley Classic, how it is now, and then you just add a second option that'll be named something else, and then, like I said, just adding more replay value, more options. And then another game type that you could have is, so pretty much rated battlegrounds is, it was a pretty cool concept. I didn't hate it, but it'd be cool if they condensed it. And what I mean by that is like 3 versus, like, let's say you 3 versus 3 Warsong capture the flag. So this could either be on the new map with verticality, or it could just be on the standard classic Warsong map, where you get you and 2 of your good friends, and it's capture the flag 3 versus 3. Like, you have a total of 6 players on that map, and you just try to cap the flag 3 times. Like, it kind of sounds a little dumb. It kind of sounds like that wouldn't work. Why would anyone play that? But in my opinion, it would be awesome. Like, I honestly would play that, and I'm not saying it would be a huge hit, but I definitely believe that players would enjoy that. And you could do that with AB. You could do that, with the domination game type also. You could have 3 to 5 players that could do rated queue, and that could be that. And a pretty obvious one that I don't know why they never implemented this, but maybe you guys can tell me why in the comments, but 4 versus 4. I mean, I don't understand why there's not a 4 versus 4 arena. I mean, it seems pretty obvious why that'd be cool. Like, but anyways, so yeah, obviously 1 versus 1 would be amazing. 1 versus 1 arena queue rated, but it doesn't seem like they're gonna do that. But yeah, so like I said, 3 versus 3 Warsong. You can even make it 4 versus 4 Warsong, and then also another game type is you can obviously see that I absolutely love Warsong, but you can make Warsong an arena map. So you queue up for arena, you have the standard arena maps, and then you could queue up, and then you can get random Warsong map. And obviously, this, like I said, it kind of sounds dumb. It kind of sounds weird. It's like, that map's too big for 2 versus 2. But in my opinion, it'd be so much fun. I don't know, like, for some reason, like, I just love, like, huge maps that you can kind of just chill in your own, like, you don't have to, like, you don't have to immediately just engage into battle, and, like, just, you could kind of just take your time and make a strategy and just fight in different locations in the map. I mean, obviously this one, I could see why they wouldn't add it, but in my opinion, it would be cool. Like, you would obviously, it's not going to break the game whatsoever, but maybe that could just, be for a for fun skirmish map rather than a rated 2 versus 2. And honestly, I had a lot more ideas for WoW, but I should have made this video sooner, like a year ago. I had so many, but just a few more. I mean, to get players back out into the world, doing player versus player in the world, you can make like these random chests that like this. They might have already done this. Like I have no clue. They might have already done this, but you just make like these. You know, you can have like a blue chest, a black chest, like different sort of chests that you know, like a warning, raid warning will prompt up and says this chest is in this location. So exactly how it's done in Stranglethorn, where you one player can loot the chest, and it's like a last man standing, so to speak. And then yeah, like it'll just get players back out there in different locations rather than just, you know, in Durtar or, you know, Elwyn, and dueling there and stuff. You can, you know, like you can have these events that go on, but the way that you do this is make not the items and the gold and the stuff that you get in this chest overpowered, but make it cool. Like make it like in my opinion, I don't know, I haven't played the recent expansions, so they might have some really cool trinkets. Like I've seen some of the newer trinkets, they do look cool. But TVC had such cool trinkets, like so many different things. Like they should just go wild again, like they did in TVC with all the different variances in the trinkets, and you know, you could just have a whole, you know, like a whole bunch of different trinkets that you could obtain through these chests. And like I said, you don't make them overpowered, because then you'd you'd pretty much force players to get these chests, because you know, if so you don't make the trinkets and the gear overpowered, but just make them like cool, like make them, you know, wantable, so to speak. And then one last thing is there should be, like, I understand why the WoW developers don't give you those extra 10 levels when you pay the pay to level service. You know, that service that you can pay that it levels one character that you choose up. So I have an idea. Pretty much you pay like an extra $5, you get a blue slot on your character select screen, and this blue slot is, as soon as you make a character on this blue slot, it's instantly max level, and that's it. You don't get gear, you don't get any of that other stuff. It's not pay to win. You just get pay to level. And I understand that some players disagree with this. The WoW developers obviously, you know, work hard on the new zones, on the new raids and stuff. They don't want you just to, you know, they want you to enjoy the content. I understand that. But honestly, as much as some of us players would love to enjoy the content, we just don't have the time. Like me, for example, like I would love to play the new expansion. I hear good things, I hear bad things about the current expansion, Legion. I'm not sure if it's good. It looks pretty fun, but I would seriously play it if there was a service like this where I could just instantly get max level and then just begin, you know, getting honor gear, or, you know, doing some dungeons. Like for me, leveling is just too time consuming. It's just too much. I just don't have the time to level. So obviously this is optional for them to do, but like I said, you pay an extra $5 on your monthly fee, for WoW, and you can have this blue slot. You can get maybe two new really cool mounts. You know, you can get a few more other perks for paying this extra $5. But one of the main perk is that you get this blue slot, and what'll be cool about it is that you could always have a max level character. So let's say I'm like, I want to play a hunter right now. So on my blue slot, I make a hunter. He's instantly max level, and then I start to gear him. I play him for like, you know, a month or so, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to play paladin. So now I can delete that hunter that's in the blue slot and make a paladin, and then the paladin is instantly max level, but the gear doesn't carry over, because that would be, you know, that would be pay to win, sort of. You know, it would just totally take out a big. It would make the game just too fast if the gear carried over. So the gear doesn't go over to your next character, but you know, you could just keep going through different classes. So like, you know, you could like I just said, you can make a hunter, and then you're like, you know what, I want to try a paladin, and then you can make a paladin, and then you can delete that paladin in the blue slot, and then you can instantly make, so you can only have one max character that you can instantly level in this blue slot, but it could be, you know, you could level it endless amount of times. I don't know, it's just a little idea that I had that I believe would be really cool, and I would definitely pay for it. What else? I don't know, I honestly had more ideas. I mean, I guess I could just throw, I mean, I had so many glyph ideas, so much stuff. But, I don't know, they might have already implemented this, I have no clue. But, for the Death Knight class, I don't play Death Knight, I in fact hate Death Knights, but I play a Rogue class. Reason why I play Rogue is because I love Vanish. Vanish is my favorite cooldown. I love it because I can be having an epic 1v1 duel with someone in Warsong, and then two of his friends, two of the opposing faction join in, and now it's 3 versus 1. I have no chance. I'm gonna die if I'm any other class. Well, unless you're really good, you know, if you're a mage, you can teleport. You know, if you're a warrior, you can heroic leap away. Maybe you can escape. But with Vanish, you're guaranteed to like escape if you have it. And I don't know, I just love that. I love saying, oh, you guys want to 3 versus 1 me, even though I was having a 1 versus 1 duel, and you know, it was legit. You guys just want to ruin our fun. No, I don't think so. And I could just vanish and escape. But the thing is, with Death Grip, some of the times I would, you know, like, oh, escape, and I'd vanish, sprint away, and then a DK would then grip me back, and I'd be done, and it would be so annoying. I'd be like, dude, I freaking hate Death Grip. I hate it. I hate that move. And in Mop, it looks like they can do 2 of them. So as a minor glyph idea, you pretty much, if a DK chooses to use this minor glyph of Death Grip, rather than them pulling the enemy towards them, they get pulled towards the enemy. So it's like a hook shot of sorts. So just to paint a picture of this, of how cool this could be, even though I don't even play DK, let's say there's a DK, Warsong field, he's right in front of tunnel, he's having an epic battle with a warrior, they're going at it, it's 1 versus 1, it's legit. And then a Frost Mage is on top of the tunnel roof and starts casting freely on the DK, and the DK is done for now because he's got this full health mage that is casting on. Now it's 2 versus 1. So in this scenario, you know, the DK can Death Grip the mage down to the field and pull him from the roof, but he's still done at that point. You know, he just pulls him. He's not going to be able to 2 versus 1 them. But if you're using this glyph, he could then pull himself up to the roof, escape the warrior, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Who knows? Maybe he could 1 versus 1 the mage at that point. You know, just one little instance of an example of how cool this glyph would be. And I had a lot of them. Like, I don't know. And I had so many for rogues. What were some of them? See, I can't even recall them. I had a lot of them though. But pretty much, like, yeah, like, if I can recall any of the ideas that I had for a while, like I have more, but I'm just trying. Like I said, I have like no time. I'm just trying to get these videos out, and just hopefully, you know, so the players can listen. You know, maybe suggest it. You know, maybe some of the stuff gets implemented would be cool. But if any of the ideas return back to me, if I recall any of them, I'll post it in a comment on this video. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have watched this far, hopefully I just edited this. Hopefully this works. But the war song that the gameplay that I have in this is actually a Kata server, and I mean, this war song is beast. This is one of the best war songs that I've had recently, where it's just completely perfect. Like, it's kind of cheap. It's one of those war songs where it's just like, you know, we're just owning the other team. So there's not much skill involved, but it's still like a pretty good clip. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, you know, I'm gonna be pretty much dropping like my next. I'm immediately right after this. I'm gonna be making a StarCraft ideas video for the world of StarCraft. Pretty much an idea that I'm sure Blizz has already. They're probably already in the works of it. They know exactly what they're doing. They don't need my suggestions. They don't need any help. But just maybe they're wondering, we want to make this game. We want to do some of these ideas that I've mentioned in this video, but we're not sure if the players will take a liking to some of these ideas. So that's why I make this video, to kind of, if the players agree with it, if this gets, some decent likes, or gets agreed with, it gets, shared, the developers are like, okay, well, this video is doing okay, so maybe we can add some of these ideas. But yeah, I'm going to be doing, like I said, StarCraft next, but I'm going to be doing a lot of other stuff. So, if you guys are interested in hearing some of my other ideas, definitely sub. I'm going to be making like absolutely no finances whatsoever off this channel. It's completely just for entertainment purposes. So yeah, if you guys want to hear it, want to check it out, just it'd be cool if you guys could sub. That way you guys can see any of my newer ideas. But it would also just help me a lot, because I have a plan with this channel that I'll explain in more detail in another video. But it's a pretty cool plan. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, guys, if you like any of these ideas or anything, like if you guys don't like any of the ideas, leave a comment. Suggest your ideas, man. Like I know, so many WoW players out there have some amazing ideas to add into WoW. These were some of mine. The dueling one was pretty much the dueling one, and making dueling anywhere, and making some of the instances and the dungeons, battleground maps. Like that one is just, those are like my best ones, and I honestly believe that they would so work. Like they don't break the game whatsoever. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys, any of your guys' ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, later.